Let's keep it simple to begin with, Mike. Let's just find out more about Rainbow Resource Centre. What is it that you guys do in terms of serving the community?
Sure. So we are Manitoba's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, two-spirit, and queer resource center. We've been around for over 45 years. We have an extensive counseling program, lots of social support groups meeting at the center. So people are meeting at the center from ages 4 to 84. The whole lifespan there is represented. I mentioned our counseling services. They're open to members of our community, but also families and friends of folks who might just need a little bit of extra support figuring some stuff out. We also have a really popular youth program and a summer camp that happens as well every August in partnership with our friends of Variety.
So if people are interested in accessing the services at the center, where should they start?
Sure. So our website is rainbowresourcecenter.org. You can always stop by and visit us at 170 Scott Street or give us a call at 474-0212.
And I guess what some people might be asking themselves as they hear about this, maybe for the first time, is how do I know this is for me?
Well, as I mentioned, it's for anyone that's in our community or their family and friends. And so if you're someone that identifies as part of the community or as an ally for the community, come on down. If you're someone in a workplace who has LGBT clients, customers, families of people, we do also offer training and education to create better equity and inclusion for LGBTQ folks in the workplace.
Some have asked, why are days like Pride Day for the Manitoba Moose important? What does it do to help your community and to help in offering the services you offer?
Folks that we serve are often really invisible in our communities. So just having an event like this says that we're seen in society, but also to create spaces in sport. We know there's lots of barriers for LGBT folks accessing sport. So it's really important to have days like this to let folks know that if they're lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or two-spirit, that there's space for them within the sporting world.
You know, it's interesting that you talk about the organization being around for 4 decades. That might surprise some people. Do you think there's a value in just educating people about the fact that there is a history of success in offering services here in our city and our province?
For sure. I mean, when you think back at the history of our center, when we were founded, we were illegal, immoral, and being sent to jail. And so it's pretty exciting to think about the history of that and that people resisted and created great safe spaces for people to continue affirming each other's identity and learning from each other.
You know, earlier you touched on it, but there is a kind of a feeling that there's a lot of room to grow in the world of sport when it comes to understanding this issue and making it more inclusive. Do you deal with things specifically sport-related in this experience here with the Resource Centre?
Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely see some folks involved in our programming who have been involved in sport. We've also done a lot of education and policy development with folks like the Manitoba High School Athletics Association to ensure that sports in the high school system are welcoming to trans folks as well as LGBT folks.
What now do you find is the most pressing issue you're dealing with in people in this community?
Because LGBT folks are everywhere, we kind of are dealing with all of the issues. Something that's emerging for us right now is recognizing the housing and homelessness problem that we have within our community. Our older adults are really scared of going into seniors facilities and having to go back in the closet. Trans folks are having difficulty finding spaces in schools. And within all of that, we're seeing a lot of, families and friends who are looking out for support too. So we always want to encourage folks like that to stop by the center and know that they can find support from what we're providing there as well.
I'm wondering about the value of our conversation just in having people think about these subjects and talk about these subjects. Is just starting conversations an important element in all of this?
I think it is a really important element just to have conversations, and I think part of it is just connecting on a human level with each other. Whether we're heterosexual or part of an LGBT community or cisgender, all of us have a sexual orientation and all of us have a gender identity. And I can never stress that enough, that we're all in this together and sort of navigating the world. But it's more difficult for some folks than it is for others.
So I guess the key in all of it is focusing on what we have in common and not emphasizing the differences.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to celebrate those differences. But at the end of the day, you know what? We're all human and just looking to love and be loved.
Great speaking with you, Mike. Thanks for the time. All the best.
Thanks for having me.